Hey everybody, welcome to the YCast, Season 7, Week 10. I am your host, Dimension Satire, and I am joined here with...
FCD?
Ryan?
Spencer.
We've had a very interesting week, most of them were really close matches, couple of upsets, couple of absolute slaughters, but let's get right into it with match 1, yes, week 1, woo, yay, oh, this is preseason, yeah, Cold versus the Super Saiyans at the Super Saiyans map. Cold managed to pull away with the win, bringing them up to something and something, and, no, okay.
Oh boy.
Something and something.
5-5.
Yeah, that.
And
Five,
bringing the
really?
Super Saiyans
Oh,
down to
it's
8-2.
Wow, okay. That was an interesting match.
Well, good job, Cold, for punching Super Saiyans in the nuts, basically.
Well, that's what you say in most MMOs, right? Pay to win?
Yeah, that was a high trust victory for them.
But it
Yeah.
was, I think, the Cold's last playoff match, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Playoff.
yes, the last... What is wrong with me today? Yes, the
Everything.
playoff.
Cold,
No.
cold.
They
No,
play
that was their
ED.
first.
That was their
And
first.
androids.
How much Zenny do they have left?
I'd assume
And
not
I'm out.
much.
They spent, what, 28 this week?
They spent
Uh,
28?
Two styles of the strong, so that's 20. An attack plus 1, so that's 4, so that's 24. And then a super plus 1, so that's 28 in one match.
That's got to be like most of their pool.
How?
Most,
Well, the
if not
thing
all.
is-
Actually, hold on.
The thing is, they didn't spend a lot of money because they only took Zendaya as their free agent, which was really cheap.
Yeah, she was probably, what, less than 10, I think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just like the androids had a lot of money because they took General Blue, which no one wanted.
They didn't even, like...
Well, they didn't even want
for
to.
him. They,
All right,
Blizzard
let's see here.
Gave
Cole.
gave it to him.
They got randomized. Just like Blades got Chi-Chi randomized, which I kind of want to see Chi-Chi in just
Oh,
because...
so they didn't even bid on Zangaya then.
No, I'm pretty sure Cole got, bid on Zangaya like the first week.
Oh, okay.
I'm
For,
pretty
like,
sure.
a small amount. I think it was like 8 Zenny.
Yeah, I think one of the Cold supporters used to be a Valkyrie. I think it was DJ Numa, and he worked with Zangia, and he thought he could get it working again, which
He couldn't.
I really wish they could have.
Okay, so I've done the math, assuming they didn't buy boosts any other time during the season. They would have had 51 going into this match, assuming they didn't bid on map or music or
Well,
Zangaya.
They bid on map and they bid on music, but it was like one Zenny each.
Yeah, so drop that to 49. If they did bid on Zangaya, drop that to 40.
41, 40-ish. So
Yeah,
minus
so-
20, they have like 12 left.
12 or 10, somewhere around the
Is
10
that
range.
including
But I
their
mean,
wins and losses, though?
no, that was including their wins and losses.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still a good amount of Zenny left, but still, it was a bit gamble. If they would have lost that match, they would have regretted it for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me just wish they had lost it even more.
Oh yeah, just
I'm
to see the
sorry,
reaction.
Roommate, you're a great person. It's just... I love when things go wrong for people.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, yes, Aruma is a great person, but it's very fun to see her react to some things, and that would have been a very fun time.
Like Scotland, for example.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the actual match. We started off with Cooler, Final Form Cooler versus, is that N Vegeta? Yeah, N Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And-
That Vegeta didn't really like his performance this week. He did pretty much bodied
He
hard.
did well in the beginning. He did surprisingly well in the beginning, and then Supernova. And then
Yeah.
Tag. And then Frieza. And then Destroy the Planet. And just, luckily that was dodged, otherwise this would have been an even bigger slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Just all the ultimates. That's what
Oh, Strong.
Cold was going for.
Cooler didn't even have Silent of the Strong. It was Mecha and Frieza, and I Frieza threw out enough to make it worth it. He hit with one for 19,000, but I think that might have been nerfed a little bit because and Vegeta was already so low. I don't think it always counts the...
Yeah, it does like half damage if you die in the middle of it or something.
Or half of the remaining damage, or something like that. It's... That, with Style of the Strong and Super Plus, whatever he had, probably Super Plus 2, that should have done a lot more than it was. And he's still using his B1s, so he threw out two, using his B1s to go back. I mean, Frieza's putting in the work. He had a little trouble with, I think, Mid-Vegeta's melee, which was interesting.
Yes. To be fair, Mid-Vegeta did a good job. He really tried his best out there against...
He brought it back with his own ultimate, yeah.
Yeah, because he
Also,
faced both...
Vegeta,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
you know.
It's still a Vegeta. You can't win against a Vegeta.
Well, they did win the match, so they must have been able to win against one.
No,
Anyway,
it was all staged.
Regardless, Cooler happened to have tagged it really early, which is amazing for Team Cold. And then came back versus Mid-Vegeta. I think he kind of got handled, if I remember correctly.
Not completely handled, but he was clearly the inferior man. He
Yeah.
needed his metalled version to finish the job.
Yeah, I was always thinking that Vegeta was the stronger Vegeta on the team, and probably the strongest member on that team, period. But Mid-Vegeta is the one that made this a relatively even match again after that.
After that wonderful supernovas and destroy the planets.
Supernova tag, yeah. And I am loving the fact that Lock-On Buster keeps hitting, because I think that has almost 100% hit rate. It's close. If it's not 100%, it's close. Which is ironic considering last season it never hits.
Well, Metro Tutor never was really good with his BTUs before this season, so he is one of the people that the new difficulties seem to have helped a lot.
Yeah,
He has
that's,
a 95% connection rate.
damn. And that's
With 100% for ultimates.
yeah, and that's before factoring in his B1 usage. I mean, geez.
Which I'm actually surprised we're not, like, doing the random stats that we were in the last season.
Yeah.
Like how many plants, how many rebirths.
Let's do a new
Yep.
stat. How many times they blink during the match?
0, 0, 0.
Yep.
Oh wait, I thought I saw him blink! Oh wait, no, that was just him flinching.
But Special Beam Cannon beats Lock-On Buster. That was really surprising. I thought Lock-On Buster would fire faster because it's almost instantaneous.
Isn't
Yeah,
Lock-On
but-
Buster more like a sweep? Kind of like Dark
Oh,
Side
it's
Beam?
just it's more like a really, really fast Death Beam, except kind of invisible.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of
Special beam cannon chart goes through literally everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Literally everything.
except for barriers, maybe.
Everything.
But Gotenks Boo
Except
did
for
well.
itself.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we finally see it cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
I think seeing two Special Beam Cannons cancel each other out, it was amazing. But Gotenks Boo was doing really, really well. He probably could have won that match if Mecha Frieza didn't, do Style of the Strong Ultimate at an angle that I really think that was an unfair angle. That should not have hit. He was like directly under Mecha Frieza. That
Oh, yeah.
I call hacks on that one.
It was a very weird moment, but Dotensbu proved that there's a reason he is the number 2 in the stats ranking. He is very dangerous.
Oh, of course. There's no... I mean, remember preseason?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And the fact that from all the team he could have been, he is in the Super Saiyans, who have 2 other members in the top 10. It's scary.
Yeah, and, I mean, Goku is probably one of the scariest meleeers next to Nam this season.
Mhm.
One of. I mean, I thought... When I watched it, I thought this match was closer than it actually was. Mecha Frieza ended up just completely handling Goku. Goku wasn't even a factor. And that feels really, really weird after watching all that performance.
Yeah, especially with the charge penalty, too.
Yeah. He was handling them in melee. It's just weird. But that is what it is.
It's free.
And
What do you expect?
so in the end, it was a pretty great victory for Team Troll, who need that momentum, and it's pretty good to see them getting better and better after a very slow start.
Yeah, the new difficulty has kind of been really wonky with them. Like it's been helping, but then they've also kind of had moments where they're a little inconsistent, but they seem to be understanding what's changed, and they're compensating, and it's working. So, good job, Cold.
Yeah, but talking about the new difficulty in the next match, we have a team that...
Earth Defenders versus Namekians.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, Namekians won. It was a surprisingly close match considering what actually happened. Yeah, Earth Defenders went down to 1-8.
1 and
And
9.
Yeah,
Wait,
1 and 9.
Week 10. Week 10. I'm sorry. Week 10.
And Namek
I-
goes to 4 and 6.
No!
They're starting to coming back, which is kind of scary for Ryan and I.
They need to get off my butt.
Well, this is the Namek that we started seeing in the off season and a little bit in the preseason. This is the Namek that every single one of their characters has been scary, with the exception of maybe sort of King Piccolo.
Yeah.
So,
It's because he didn't eat his prunes this week. Or any of the other weeks.
Yeah,
He really doesn't like the prunes.
he's on a diet. But yeah, I think that neither Ryan and I, when we started the bad start of the Namek this season, I'm pretty sure he was like me, thinking that they will come back from this because they have a way better team than their record was showing for a while.
yeah, there are a lot of matches where I really thought they should have won. But, getting into the actual match, King Piccolo versus Yamcha. And King Piccolo is one of those characters who's probably should be doing a lot better than he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I mean,
got
Yamcha-
really good V2s.
He has, well, Sumasen is always a bit wonky. But Your Name is Drum, Max Power, Explosive Demon Wave. He could just go ham if he wanted to. I mean, he's done it in the minor league. I mean, all difficulty there still, but still, I mean,
So
It's
what makes it a demon wave?
He's
He's a
Demon King
slug.
Piccolo.
He's
Yeah,
a
demon-
slug.
Yeah,
No.
that's the type.
King.
He's a
That's the
slug
type of
man.
thing that made less sense when DBZ started, but yeah, he is kind
Yeah,
of the
because-
demon king, even if he's not a demon at all. In some point, it's
back in the old days, I don't think they knew what a Namekian was.
yeah.
Nope.
They're all
So
the same. Everyone in DBZ is just racist.
So, Yamcha actually fought a really good match against King Piccolo, but King Piccolo got off a nice combo with Sumasen into Your Name is Drum. So now they
I'll
got
say.
his official birth records out, and Yamcha is now officially named Drum.
Sure.
And then King Piccolo tagged at like a sliver of health, and Tambourine came in, and Tambourine just said, GG no re, basically.
Yamcha is doing something this season that I feel is so much like Yamcha in the start. He has good performances. He is doing his best, but he will always get up receiving one bit combo or will get unlucky. Yamcha always have good momentum, and then he mess up something. Always.
That is definitely something we're talking about. I mean, it's not a stat. It's not a thing you can measure. It's not a thing you can just say, hey, look, this is awesome. Momentum is a thing in this league. If you have it, great. If you don't have it, it is really hard to get. Yamcha has great momentum in the start of the match, and then he just loses it and flails. Like, he tagged and then came back in and just didn't do anything.
I would also say it might have ended up being the tag that King Piccolo did, because Yamcha was beating hard on Piccolo, and then the tag could have just screwed with Yamcha.
Yeah. But then Tambourine, I think, either had Power of Rage or Dragon Power, probably Power of Rage, and he just outclassed. I mean, Goku wasn't doing bad. That's the thing. Goku didn't do bad. He just got outclassed, and that just was end game for him. I mean, he couldn't deal because he was being countered hard. He got a good Kamehameha off, and he would have gotten another one, but Mystic Breath is just...
Yeah.
That was really good from Tambourine, too.
Yeah, it was 2 clashes into an ultimate from Tambourine.
Oh, that's right, the ultimate. I forgot about that. I think that's the first time we saw that ultimate from him this season.
It's been a while since we have.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird this week. Like, 2 different Dotru had the same problem of, I will class an opponent who have a class bonus, but the other Dotru gonna be for a later match, which Dimension will love.
I wasn't even going to be in this White Cast because I didn't want to talk about that.
Give us your energy!
Yamcha came back in. I don't remember if he took out Tambourine. I think he did.
I'm watching it right now, so I'll be able to tell you.
But ultimately, he ended up facing King Piccolo again, and King Piccolo ended up changing that match around.
Tambourine took out Yamcha.
Tambourine took out Yamcha.
Yep, and then came in 19.
Oh, okay.
Which, to be fair, Yamcha and 19 are probably the best 2 Terrators in Earth Defenders this season in terms of consistency and damage dealing.
19 is a little bit debatable because he's had really off weeks. This week was actually a pretty good one. He was lasting decently in Melee. He did a few follow-ups with B2s. He just kind of got handled by late Piccolo. I mean, but Tien, holy crap! I would say Tien was the man of this match, even though they didn't win. Tien just lasted against late Piccolo and early Piccolo and brought it within what I would say 15,000 health.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a losing battle, but Tien made a fight of it.
Tien really didn't want to go down without a fight, and he did his best, but there wasn't. It was not dealing enough damage. Like, he was good at surviving, but when it was the time to hit his opponent, the opponent was really dodgy.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing some good B2 work. I mean, I think he had a defensive spam build with Aging Nation and Latent Energy and all that, and he was lasting. I don't think he didn't have Eternal Life because of 19, but you know, jeez. If 19's bench put him back to that Eternal Life build, and he's got something.
He had Key +1 Indignation, Latent Energy, launch support, Dende's healing on Chiaotzu AI.
A full B2 build. The only defense he had was Latent Energy.
And Dende's.
Dende's.
Yeah. I wonder if instead of just a full B2 build, if he had a full defense build, although 19 probably had the defense. Still, I mean, with what he did this week, if 19's bench and he has a full defense build, maybe with his old build, Eternal Life, Key +1, or like, I don't know, anything like that, because he lasted really well.
Yeah, but our defenders have a really big problem this season, and it's a complete lack of consistency. None of their character is really that much consistent. Tien had some bad week.
While
Yamcha is being consistent, but he's also being consistently unlucky, which brings him to his doom every time. And it seems like there's no one else in the team who's able to pick up the steam from him.
Yeah, I mean, Goku had the potential this week. If he had survived or come out against a different person, this would have been an entirely different match, I think. But I don't want to say change anything on Goku because it generally worked, but maybe find a way to give him a class boost. So, that's just
It might work.
Yeah, it was a mix of a good performance by Namek and
it was a great performance of Namek. I'm not sure if Namek tried to counter, but if they did, it pretty much worked.
So that was pretty much a great performance by Namek and many bad luck for the Air Defenders, which is pretty much a resume of their entire season thus far.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love teams like the Valkyries and I'm sorry, like my mind is not here today. Like Namekians and other South Kai teams like Derp and Muscle. It's just when it's against ED, it starts not being fun anymore. It's like Earth Defenders, Celebrator. I love you, team, but can you just have lost this one, please? Come on.
I don't know, man. Well, maybe ED didn't have their vengeance this Monday. They're facing another South Thai team. They're facing Team Derp, so maybe they didn't take all their anger and they didn't shove it right in my face.
I really hope so.
They're still gonna have Chaozu win, so it depends.
I just want to see more Spirit Bombs.
No.
Feed.
God.
Yeah,
I'm
Feed
so
him.
exhausted.
can you just not send your strongest against Earth Defenders, please? Just give them a chance.
I can't promise that.
This is
Yeah, I
something that you
cannot-
shouldn't hear about a North Kai team, which is sad.
I mean,
it's nothing that they've done. They've
yeah.
tried hard. It's just
They've tried everything. I mean,
they're getting
like-
fucked.
I think if any of us were on that team, I don't think we would be doing much better, if any better.
I don't
You know?
think it's not a lack of good building. It's not a lot of effort. It's luck. They just don't have it.
Yeah, their characters don't respond or it's just bad. It's just really bad. I mean, I'm honestly kind of surprised have they even tried Krillin this season?
They tried
Nope.
him a few times.
I think they had him on like a B1 build, right, with solar flares and everything, right? Or was that just the off season or the preseason?
Let me check.
As of the main season, he's done nothing. He hasn't been in.
No, okay. I'm kind of surprised at that, actually. I mean, okay, Chaozu has more damage potential, and yes, Krillin's expanding energy wave sucks. But something's not right. Something somewhere is not right. I mean, it's basically for you
It's
guys.
basically the
it's
heavenly
bottom of the
trap
ninth.
shooter.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the bottom of the ninth for you guys, for Earth Defenders. You're having a really hard time. You've got 5 weeks left. I don't know what your remaining matches are. But maybe it's time to think about Krillin. I mean, I know you don't like him, and I know... But, I don't know, I feel he's still got to be stronger than Chaozu at this point. I don't know. I want to see... there's nothing I want more in this league right now than to see Earth Defenders just at least make an attempt at a comeback. You know, make Cold or Androids fight for that position for playoffs. You know, I mean, because otherwise they might be the only one that's like, oh yeah, here you go, playoffs, we don't care. Which obviously that's not the case. But you know, it's just I feel so bad.
Anyway, moving on to the next match. It is Majins versus Vals. Majins won.
On a divisional match, this was super important for the Majins. It was at the Valkyries' home map, and it brought the Valkyries down to 5-5, an even record, and it brought Majins up to 3-7. They still got a ways to go in order to edge either Valkyries or Saiyans out of that spot, but this is a start, at least.
Funnily enough, about Saiyans and Vals, they both have 5-5, as well as about half of the league.
Yeah, 8 teams have 5-5. Rugrats, Valkyries, Muscle, Android, Cold, Saiyans, Ginyu, and Derp. That's frickin' awesome.
And
Sucks for
they're not
some-
far behind the people who are ahead. I mean, Gohans are
Go on, yeah.
projected to get into North Kai next season at this rate, and they're only at 6-4. So I mean,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
yep.
Going even and possibly getting into North Kai, that's really good.
Yeah. This season is definitely an interesting one, to say the least. Anyways, to the actual match.
We had some interesting stuff this time.
Majub versus
controversial.
Trunks.
Oh, dear. I would have expected Majub to destroy Trunks. I mean, regardless of what build Trunks was on, I just expected Majub to be the better fighter. And I was extremely surprised to see him get completely handled.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
So, Majub started out with attack up 2, defense -1, dragon power, quick fast attack, 10 days healing on Broly AI.
What was Trunks on?
Let me check, my good sir.
I know he has Serious Indignation and Unleashed Ki. Or, not Unleashed Ki. Fighting Spirit.
I know he had a B2 build.
and it worked.
No, he threw out one B2. He handled Majub through melee.
Trunks
That is
started
true.
out with Ki +1, Fighting Spirit, Serious, Indignation, Dende's Healing, Light Body, and his free Broly's Ring on Chiaotzu AI.
So, mixture of everything.
Yeah, I would keep Light Body and Sirius and Fighting Spirit because it helps him in melee, but I don't. It's just
Too
this
much.
this is the second time where Trunks on a B2 build has destroyed people in melee, and I can understand if the tests show him as a B2 character. Oh wait, no, I think he might have done 2 B2s this week, but he's just. I think if he had a full melee build, and as much as I hate to say this for the Majins, but I
Is
think
anyone on that?
I-
No, keep going with your thought, and then I'll ask my question.
as much as I hate to say this, I think if Trunks had a full melee build, I think they still would. I think they would have won this match. I mean, because it was close enough that the damage output from his melee probably would have swayed this match.
There's
Does
a
anyone on the Valkyries have like a full melee? Fasha, maybe?
Yeah, Fasha. Attack up 2,
Okay,
defense
they were-
-1, Serious, Master Strike, Light Body, Draconic Warrior, Broly AI.
But yeah,
Okay.
Pan was rotated to the free agent bench, and they had Videl.
Aurelia out. Ow.
Yeah,
You
Aurelia
were going
was-
for who was in.
Yeah, I was going who was in, which apparently one of the few reasons that she, well, as far as I can understand, the only reason that she was in is because they wanted every one of the Valkyries members to step on the field. Is
But-
that a logical reason to have Videl in when tests have been weird? I don't know.
I mean, they
But-
paid for an exquisite skill for her.
I admire the effort. I'm just not so sure about the strategy. Even though once he transformed, once he was transforming into Saiya Woman, she did do things and was pretty good in that form. But before that, once it was just Videl, it was pretty horrible.
Well, to be fair, it was Majin Vegeta.
Yeah.
Majin Vegeta, I mean, he's been having trouble this entire season, but I think they found a new AI in him. I think it was default AI. And he just completely shut her down. I mean, but, I mean, it's hard to tell if she would have done better against anyone else. But she transformed and tagged, yay. And Bobbity came in and actually surprisingly did really well against 18. I think-
Go
Was
ahead.
18 on a new AI? I think 18 was on a new AI.
She is... They were all on Chiaotzu AI except for Fasha this week.
Huh.
I'm sure Chiaotzu AI is not the common AI for them.
The
Maybe
question
it's
is,
a theme?
it's a divisional match against Majub or Majins. So why did they bench O'Reilly? That's
Because otherwise she'd be rotation locked.
Yeah, it was that. It was their big reason. It was the fact that they didn't rotate her out of the pretty much this entire season, so they needed to put her out now, or she was out for the rest of the season.
I mean, but is this the Valkyries' final divisional match?
no, it's their first.
Jeez,
think.
what a first. I mean,
Let me check
honestly,
here.
Depending on what the schedule is, I probably would have had O'Reilly in, even if it means rotation lock, because I would rather
their second.
second. Okay, that's not horrible for them, but
Because
They still gotta
They're-
fight Demon Warriors.
yeah,
I still would have said that I would rather be rotation locked than not go 100% against a divisional match,
Divisional.
unless Dragon Ball Warriors would be on a match on a time where O'Reilly would have to be benched. That would be a trade.
Dragon Ball Warriors would be week 12, so I think so.
No. They could get away with it, but we can talk about that in the prediction.
yeah. So yeah, this match was
Because they would have had to bench her week 11, week 13, and week 15. So week 12, they would have had her in. I would have taken that, personally.
Would you, though?
I would have. Of course, I wouldn't have gotten into that situation, but, you know.
yeah. I mean, the match was still pretty good. I mean, even though the choice of Vidal being here is kind of controversial, it still ended up okay.
Yeah.
It's not like the Vols didn't look like they had no choice, no chance of winning during the match. It's just that, in the end, probably that having a rally around would have changed things up.
Maybe.
So we didn't really talk about.
There's a lot of small changes that could have gone in their that could have changed the match in their favor, and as I feel really bad for the Machis because this is I would say a weird Valkyries team. No O'Reilly, no Pan, who's been solid for them. I think new AIs for some characters, and they still had a much closer match than it probably should have been.
Well,
Yeah.
at least the Burrow did it pretty well. I mean, it was a really good week for him.
Yeah, I think they brought him back in, and who do they put on the free agent bench?
For Vowels?
No,
put-
for Muggins.
Oh.
Imagine.
They put Baby. Their free agent.
Yeah.
Smart choice.
Yeah, because he wasn't working well. I'd also like to point out how amazing Bobbity's been doing lately. I mean, he did really well last week. He did really well this week, handling 18, who's been really, really good. Although, I think 18 was one of the ones that was on a different AI.
Yeah, I mean, I never knew that because I was watching the match as we were talking about it. I never knew Majub had Mystic Breath.
So
Yeah, it's one of those he rarely uses.
yeah, it's a surprise for pretty much everyone every time because he uses it so little we always forget about it.
I got nothing else for this match.
Okay, I take
Next
that
one.
back. 18's been on Chaozu AI before.
Yeah, I think we said pretty much everything about that match. Good performance from Babidi and the Burra. Valtyr's build almost worked it, and probably they just needed 2 or 3 things to do a little bit differently and they would have won. So a close match, but the Madzins end up winning, which was, in my opinion, the logical result.
Alright. Now on to match 4.
Which was
Ginyu
Ginyu.
and
Go.
Gohan.
This is one of the matches I honestly didn't get to see all of it because interruptions, family.
Well,
But Ginyu pulled out the win, bringing them up to 5 and 5.
5.
and bringing the Gohans
And
down
up,
to 6
down
and
to
4.
6 and 4. Jinx.
Damn it!
God damn it, Gohan!
Well, now
Why'd
I
you
gotta
have to
go
lose?
jump out a window. Thanks.
No, it's give him a Coke.
Jump out a window.
It's
Don't you give me no Pepsi. Don't want no Pepsi.
How about some RC?
I'll give
Yeah,
you that
I'll-
really
I'll-
weird. I'll give you Sam's Cola. That's about as far as I go.
Also,
be-
There you go.
butterbeer. Okay,
So-
but that's my final offer.
Anyways,
So this was a certain match of an almost perfect week for the South Thai division, except that for one team, but that's for later on.
yeah,
So
those
Fight me.
losers couldn't even win.
yeah,
Fight me.
how pathetic, huh?
Terrible.
But yeah, I liked it what I saw from the Daniel Force. If I forget the fact I'm supposed to want them to lose, I liked it what I saw from them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
Jace did really well on a melee build against Kid Gohan.
so Kid Gohan started out with Attack Up 1, Draconic Aura, Quick Fast Attack, Combo Master, Sirius on Trunks AI, and Ginyu started out with Birder on Attack Up 2, Defense -1, Power Phrase, Latent
no.
Energy. Wait,
Wrong week.
Nope.
Wrong week.
Nope.
my
Jace.
thing said
Jace did it.
week 10, and then I looked up, and then it said week 7. Okay,
Oops.
Jace on Cell AI with Attack Up 2, Defense -1, Serious Dragon Power, Dende's Healing. Hey, I got the Attack Up 2 and Defense -1.
He did it. Yeah, good job,
It
Spencer.
looks like It looks like the Gohans were expecting Power Body Birder to start out with the
Which
Draconic
was
Aura.
a logical. It was logical. It just wasn't correct.
Yeah, they
Jace, they had a pretty close fight. Jace actually seemed to be losing for a while until he brought out an 8,000 point Crusher Ball. I'm not used to seeing that do that much damage without a full B2 build. So that was impressive.
As they would say.
I don't know. Jace always had the reputation of having some good B2s.
Right, but like when they did off-season testing, they gave him a full B2 build, and his Crusher Ball would do like 5,000, 6,000 damage. And then all of a sudden, in the matches, it's doing 8k without any boosts. It's amazing. Or at
I
least
think
it's
you
under-
might be thinking about Full Power Energy Wave.
Yeah,
I
because
want-
Crusher Ball was always around 8,000 since
Not-
season 1.
Well, not in the new difficulty though. When they were doing off-season tests, the new difficulty he wasn't boosting it. It wasn't doing much damage.
Oh yeah, sometimes the AI doesn't boost the B2 because it's kind of stupid sometimes. But
In any
Yeah.
case, Saiyaman came out, had some trouble, but ultimately took down Jace, but had a lot of trouble with Zarbon.
Zarbon.
Zarbon kind of getting back to what he was doing earlier on in the season. He's still not on that level where he kind of nearly brought it back against the Boos, but he was doing really well.
Zarbon is a dangerous competitor. I know him. I know the character for a while since he was the first ever character I did a build for back in the first season of the minor, and Zarbon always had some amazing potential.
Oh my
And-
god, Zarban's amazing. I love Zarbon. I wanted him on my team as a free agent, but I couldn't compete with Ginyu Force's Sunny count.
Yeah, he is. I like him. The B2s are good. The ultimate when he does it at the right time, which is the big issue, doing it at the right time.
Yes, a grab after you've knocked him away. Good job, Zarbon.
Woohoo!
In any case,
So after
Saiyaman actually brought it back to an even fight, which is surprising considering how the match was going, and actually beat Zarbon. And then Raccoon came in, the tush tush.
Tushy.
The master of the tush.
I mean,
It's-
it didn't seem, when I was watching it the first time, it didn't seem like Raccoon was doing all that well, but the fact that he just outlasted people like Ultimate Gohan and, to an extent, Bojack was ridiculously impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think he had Super -1 because he had Key +2 Super -1 so he was on a general B2 build, not a defense build. So
Rechum did a lot of, from what I remember, he did try a lot of B2s and even Ultimate. Like, he survived long enough because he was using his build really well made his opponent unable to attack him because he was always the one attacking first.
Renegade Bomber, and he did an ultimate for 10k. He used his B1s really well too. He went up to max power, I think, what, 2 or 3 times at least?
That's
Something
a pretty
like that.
weak ultimate if it only does 10k.
Well, I think he had super -1 because he had the key +2 super -1, and I'm pretty sure Ultimate Gohan had some
Yeah.
sort of defense build.
Yeah, he did.
So that definitely makes sense.
And to be fair, the Return Ultimate really always seemed to have some wanty hit, but it never hit as good as it should be hitting.
Right. But Ultimate Gohan did the sacrifice health to to push away, and then immediately ate that B2, that ultimate. So
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because Raccoon usually kind of needs his max power power body effect in order to get off his grabs and stuff. And Ultimate Gohan completely punches through that, but he got off like 2 chain grabs anyway.
Yeah, it was, the grabs were not doing as powerful thanks to Gohan's
No master
massive
block.
defense build.
And no master throw.
Oh, why would you not throw Master Throw on him?
Because they were probably expecting map change again, which is fair, considering they've been map changed at least 3 times now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much what's happening lately with the Dino Force. They're afraid of using their best build because it can be countered, and if it does, it just costs them a lot for nothing.
Yep. But Bojack, still being Bojack, he got handled, which was interesting, but he didn't do bad, I don't think. Twinkle Toes and the Tush Tush were just too powerful.
Yeah, he got Raccoon down to a bar before Birder came in.
And Raccoon tagged.
Yep.
And I think he had Savior too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Birder guard broke Bojack, which was a huge thing. He got a good combo off, got his energy back. It's impressive. But ultimately, Bojack couldn't keep up with the fastest man in the universe!
Well, that's a problem with bid guys like Bozat. They often have bid difficulties following up the faster one, and Berter is incredibly fast when it's time to start to hit the opponent.
The fastest in the universe!
But I
No,
think
nobody?
he ultimately took out Birder, and Raccoon had to come in, and it was really close, actually. But,
Yeah, Bojack got an ultimate off, so that was nice.
Yeah, Grand Smasher, that was... I think, is that the first time we've seen a Grand Smasher from him?
I'd say second, maybe.
Second. Makes sense, yeah. I mean, that Grand Smasher brought it back to an even fight, at least between those two.
Yeah, and we almost never get to see Galactic Tyrant either.
Yeah, because he just seems to be... He either transforms and tags and doesn't need to come back in, or he transforms and dies.
Or just Grand Smashers in transform state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand Smash... I mean, honestly, the fact that Bojack is a melee character is surprising, because I honestly, I never would have thought of it.
Well, that's
Like-
what Muscle did last season, was just kept him on a, savior build. Which, yeah, not the greatest for him.
Well,
He gets
'cause he had
one full power charge up.
Sharpshooter and, yeah.
So,
Yeah. But yeah, but Bozat for the moment, even though he is surprisingly good, like you compare him to every season before that, and it's not the Bozat we saw before. But good thing for the Doans. Hey, he is way better than what he was. In fact, he had the reputation of being the muscled weakling, but it's not the case. He is no more a weakling for any team.
well,
No.
the Muscle Weak League of the strong people.
The weakest of the strong.
Yes.
So,
But,
on to the next match.
yeah. I mean, it was a close match between Gohan's and Ginyu's. 1 bar difference, so...
Yeah, Ginyu did really well because Gohan's have been scary this season.
Yeah. I think it's time for the next match, the match that Dimension have been waiting all along to be able to talk about it.
Bubblegum and Children.
Yeah. Boo's divisional match, really important. We spent, what was it, 13 Zenny on it in order to... Yeah, and we lost.
Wait, how much? 13?
13.
Ah, what did you buy?
Dragon Power for Kid Trunks,
Okay.
Ki +1 for Dodoria, Defense +1 for Cell Jr., and Attack +1 for GT Goku.
Okay, makes sense.
So, Boos went up to 7-3, and they're at the top of Iskai right now, and Rugrats are 5-5.
More 5 and 5.
Yeah, you're a part of the 5-5 club. Congratulations.
If we had won, it would have been a 3-way tie for Iskai, and that would have been amazing. But,
Yeah.
Now there's a 3-way tie for South Kai.
Yep.
Yep. But it was very interesting because we kind of scouted out the Boos, and apparently we were completely wrong because everything that we thought they'd do, they didn't. They started off with Gohan Boo against Kid Trunks, which ended up being a great start for us.
Mm-hmm.
But Oob came in and just said, I'm having none of that. Forced Kid Trunks to tag. Oob did really well. But,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
Is it-
Goku did that whole thing, I'm going to clash the person with a clash boost. Because, I wanted to have Dragon Power on him, but we did that last week and we couldn't do it this week. So. And
Meh.
I would
Oob's
love to
clash.
have... Yeah.
Oob's clashes are dangerous. 5,000 points per.
Yeah, and we did there were 3 clashes, so.
3 clashes in a row into a barraging, whatever, palm barrage.
Yeah, that was... I mean, it's one of those things where it was a ridiculously close match, but one thing could have changed it in our favor, you know? It was just one of those that was... We should have won. We really, really, really should have. Goku went Super Saiyan 4 and then immediately died, as is the whole usual thing from previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, even though you didn't really were able to scout directly what would happen, you were still able to do a close fight with them, which is good considering the fact that it was the Boos. And I mean, yeah, there's that talk about you should have won, which I kind of agree, and it's true that especially with the ending, it was kind of.
Before we get to that, Cell Jr. had some really good combos against.
Using his solar flare a lot.
Yeah, we gave him Kabuto Secret Arts specifically for that fact.
By the way, Chewie is still blind from it, and you didn't pay the bill yet.
I love that. Even though we lost that match, that was awesome. But, he did Solar Flare into a max power melee smash combo, which is great, but he ended up taking too much damage from Oob, who had a full melee build. Mm-hmm. And that was also one of the things that could have changed the match around. But, it was a really close match, but it didn't look like it should have been a close match, considering Kid Trunks, ultimately only took his man and a little bit more before tagging. GT Goku did next to nothing. Cell Jr. had trouble against their second fighter, who ended up tagging. Vegeta, who got off an ultimate. And it's just it shouldn't have been that close, and yet it was. And it's weird.
It's better to have close losses than
just stomps, yeah.
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 And the sad thing is, if we didn't, do the boosts, it very well could have been a stomp.
Yeah.
And I feel horrible about that. We had to spend 13 Zenny just to keep it in even fights.
Sometimes it's like that, It's not always.
Although if GT Goku didn't get handled because of Clash spam, then it probably would have been an even fight without the boosts. But still, I mean, Dodoria did fine. Dodoria did great.
10,000 point max power combo. That was nice.
the Doria really.
That was last week.
I feel like every time you send the Doria to the field, he really tries his best to do his job. I could be wrong, but I don't remember like a bad Doria. I remember one where he was unlucky versus the Troll.
Yeah, against Ginyu, he was handled by Raccoon, I think. More or
Okay,
less.
yeah.
No, I think Raccoon and Zarbon handled him. But I mean, if you look at I mean, he got down to his last bar, took took Vegeta down to his last bar, tagged, and then Kid Trunks came in and immediately followed up with B2 and took out that, and then it just became Kid Buu versus Kid Trunks. And
Which Kid Buu missed an ultimate.
no, Kid Trunks dodged an ultimate.
No, it looked like it hit the ground.
Oh,
Like, because Kid Trunks was going max power.
because of the slope, yeah. And then the big tree cannon. I mean, Trunks hit with an ultimate, bringing Kid Buu down to 1 HP. Went back up to max power, fired off another ultimate at an unfortunate time, and tagged again. So that's 2 tags. Dodoria did False Courage and tried an ultimate, but, you know, this is where everything went to shit because I don't even know what happened. But
On the wall.
like, I don't know, because he was facing away from the wall. I don't understand, right? It just looked like one of those glitch things. And then Kid Buu tagged, Kid Trunks came in, completely handled Oob because, you know, volley spam. Like, took, like, no damage from Oob. And just Kid Buu came in with Savior and missed the combination, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it was.
It's like it was like if Dodoria got off that ultimate, it would have been a different game. If GT Goku didn't clash, it would have been a different game. It's just one.
But you know, the thing that with the classes, that was still a part of the normal game because that didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
The only weird thing in your match really was that wall. That
Dodoria could have done. I mean, if Dodoria could have done something else against Buu, even a little bit more damage for Kid Trunks to come in and take him out, and then he just destroyed Buu as he did. Oh my
even
God.
then, even if the ultimate would have hit, it would not have been like 100% certain you would have won because it was still Kid Buu arriving with Savior, and we don't know what could have happened. But you would have definitely been in a better position.
Assuming it would have let him tag,
Yeah.
because Dodoria was on his last bar, or her last bar. I call her her. She had Super plus 1 and Indignation on her last bar. That's Super plus 2.5. Her regular ultimate does about 12k. So it would have been, 18, 20K?
15.
15 plus, maybe. And it only ended up doing, like, 4K. So, that ultimate, and that ultimate makes the opponent D-lock. So Dodoria could have done something, maybe have done something else, maybe could have taken out Kid Buu, maybe not, but Kid Trunks, it would have had a sliver left. It could have. I mean, yes, there's no guarantee, but come on.
If wishes were fishes, the whole world would be an ocean. Tough luck, Dimension.
I know. It hurts. It hurts. We just got to do better for the last 5 weeks.
There's a lot of team in your position right now.
I know.
Like Ryan and I.
But, on to the next match. We've got Team Blades versus Team Derp, and Derp ended up winning this one.
Stop with the spirit bombs.
Never.
Goku won the match.
Brought Derp up to 5-5.
Literally
Like
like 90% Goku with all of his spirit bombs.
And Blades down to 4-6.
First of all, the only reason Derp had difficulty was because of that port, which Salza made a really good choice of destroying. Because that really nice port was a distraction to Salza.
Oh my god, yeah. poor
porch.
Salza. I mean, all he wants is to just sit down and relax with a cup of space tea and
Yeah.
sip his have a little bit of space chocolate with his and
And a space
like,
baguette
oh.
with his space snails. I don't remember what they're called.
escargot.
Yes.
In
space.
space Australia?
See,
Oh,
No, in
Because-
space France.
Salza is not a fighter. Salza is a lover. But sadly, he need money. So we send him to that beat. I mean,
and
this week.
he
he
got
Well,
doesn't
I was thinking since he's a lover,
Well, the
you
thing
could
is-
just pay him for loving.
But the thing is, I think the Blades realized he needed the money and just paid him to lose. So
maybe, but then I have to.
check into his finances, see where he's getting some of his funds for his space tea.
Yeah.
He's going to Giovanna's and
But yeah, it was not like it was a very good performance by Team Blade, and once again, that was a match that I felt like the better team did not win with. Because I mean, yes, I'm in Team Dark, but
Goku just stole that match from
yeah,
you. From
it's Enduro It's Enduro with a little bit of just a little bit of Supreme Kai, but that was a small part. Tui and
But then-
Salza, not Supreme Kai. I meant yes, Salza. Even though he didn't really do good, he was better than Tui at least.
Yeah, Kui had trouble. It was very surprising because Kui's usually one of your more solid fighters.
Yeah, but we had started to feel like he was starting to having some problems with that AI. So we tested new AIs, and spoiler alert, he have a new AI for ED.
That explains a bit.
So
yeah, it was interesting.
oh,
that- Going to max power, trying out B2s, but that dead zone with his Kablam slash is murder. But Goku with a B2 build actually staying in B2, which is, I wasn't sure if that was going to happen.
Well, he's
the only
cheating because he's going Super Saiyan.
I know, yeah, God. Derp's
Look,
tried.
it's a deal we made with Piff and with Piff and Stu. It's like, okay, we are forced to have Hercule, which is the greatest fighter in the world, but do not want to use his power. So you let us use Super Saiyan Goku the time of one cinematic. We just didn't tell them we would use that cinematic a lot.
But, Goku, he had Super -1 because in order to get to max power so he can spam. But he was using his when he got his max power really intelligently. He was clashing, he was winning his stuff through clashes. That match would not have been close, would not have been as close as it was if he didn't do, like, ultimate overkill versus,
Yeah, Zero.
Yajirobe.
versus Yajirobe. Yajirobe had, like, 500 HP left.
Yeah. If he would have tipped that energy for Tapion, that
Tapion.
match would have been even worse for Team Blade.
Okay, but
What's me was Tapion did his Blade Slash or whatever, and I didn't know Blade Slash had a dead zone because
Wait.
Goku was close enough. He was able to charge right through it.
yep.
This is the power of Goku deciding that his team win. It's like, nope, we win. That doesn't count.
Yeah, it's like Dirt picked me up for a reason. I'm going to make sure we win, and win he did. He won Elite this week, if I'm not mistaken, 107,000.
Yeah, exactly. You want to read. And he could have done even more if he would have done Meteor Smash at more proper time, because he missed it like 3 times because the opponent was on the ground.
Yeah, but the other times he clashed it and he got his max power back.
Yeah.
Like every time he used Meteor Smash, almost he was in max power. I'm just like, damn. I mean, Tapion tried.
Really good performance
Cyborg
from-
Cow tried. Actually, Cyborg Cow did pretty well, if I remember correctly.
Oh, well, if I remember correctly, both him and Tapion did very well to face and beat both Tui and Devilman.
Yeah,
It-
although
it-
Tui was on a new AI and Devilman, I don't know, was being a bit weird this week.
Well, no, it's like, maybe I explained it wrong early on. It's Twee had his normal AI. It's just that for the past few weeks, that AI have more and more difficulty. So we're changing it this week.
So changing it back to what the good one should have been.
Yeah, we did many tests and we have like good idea. Maybe we'll be completely wrong and our defenders will destroy us in 5 minutes, but we'll see about that.
Tapion did his Brave Cannons at good times. He spammed them. He did a fair amount of damage versus Quee. He, Blade Slash as well, but not the one that actually hits because of the dead zone. But, Tapion's not doing bad. Although he doesn't always decide to do B2s, because there have been times in previous weeks where he had a B2 build and he did like 90% melee.
Well,
But
I told it to the Team Blades, to Blades team. I said to them, like, you have nothing to be ashamed about that match. Your guys did very good. It was just the fact that one of our member did the best performance of his life. So Tapion did good. Cyber Tau did good. Even Yadzirobe before receiving two ultimate was doing good.
well, 2 ultimates, losing 2 or 3 clashes.
Yeah. I think 3 ultimate, but one of them was a complete overkill. It was just Dota wanting to steal even more energy.
Question, FCD. What
Yeah.
made you decide to put Devilman in costume 2?
Because it's cooler.
You see, it was, if I remember correctly, it was just a little thing that Derpy Emoji, who did this week build, he was the one who made the build pretty much almost by himself alone, because we wanted to give him some... We feel that he is doing a very good job, so we like to give Derpy Emoji some time as a builder to show his work. And he wanted Devilman at number 2 only for the fun of it, so we let him do that.
Was this the week where I think one of the characters only had like either a 6-point build or something?
In fact,
Salza.
2 of the directors, yes, the Piffins 3 realized that Salza missed one, but they didn't realize that Joe2 himself was missing one.
Oh, whoa.
So yeah, we had 2 directors with 6-point build and the 2 others at 7.
Luckily it didn't matter much. But what was it like? You thought one? I'm sorry. I was rewatching the matches we're doing, and I just got to the point where Devilman just got punched out by Cyborg Tau. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The thing, I don't remember what happened with Endoto. In fact, nobody really knows. We changed this build almost every day until the final day, and I think we just forgot something to put on the final one. And on Salza, it's because we Derpy Emoji thought that one of these Patera was testing 1 more point than what it really does, and we didn't realize his mistake.
Gotcha. And that's fine. That's part of learning. That was great.
Yeah, I think the build still do good enough. Yes, Devilman and Twee had difficulty, but I didn't feel like it was the build himself. It was just both of them not doing what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, either being handled or just, yeah. Was Devilman on a new AI this week?
Devilman, I don't think he was with Zeta AI.
Decided to be melee.
No, he's always on Vegeta AI. We don't really know what happened with him, but we don't panic. It's like, okay, he decided to be more melee this week, but next time we'll use him, he probably didn't do like he does usually. It's not we don't press the panic button just yet.
No, yeah, because it was just 1 week, and he's been pretty solid otherwise. Yeah, I was just curious.
So yeah.
I just want to see Devilman, Soul's Combo Master Series. Oh, they probably thought Draconic Aura was 4 points, not 3. Okay.
Yeah, that was the problem. It was Draconic Aura. But
enough.
as you say, we learn every day, so...
Yep. Alright,
So yeah.
next match we have Saiyans versus Dragon Ball Warriors. And I'm pretty sure Saiyans ended up winning this one.
Yeah, Saiyan ones. That put
Bringing
them...
them up to 5-5. It's a theme! And Dragon Ball Warriors getting their 3rd loss, 7-3.
And it's obviously the first time that they have 2 losses in a row this season.
I got a question. Is every time the Super Saiyans lost, every week the Super Saiyans lost, the Dragon Ball Warriors also lose?
I'll take a look at that.
That would be fun to
Yes.
find out.
Yes, every time the Super Saiyans lost, the Dragon Ball Warrior also lost.
And there was one other week against
And there was one other week versus Derp where they lost when Super Saiyan still won.
Was it Derp or was it Ginyu? Anyway,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Yep. Super Saiyans lost against Vals in Week 5, with Dragon Ball Warriors losing to Ginyu in Week 5.
Okay, that's what it was.
And then Week 10 as well, Dragon Ball Warriors against Saiyan, Super Saiyans against Cold.
Yep.
Also, I'd like to point out, even though last week's YCast didn't get published because of unfortunate circumstances, during the predictions I specifically said I thought the Saiyans could win if they can handle Nam, and that is exactly what they did. Raditz having an even fight with Nam up until the very end was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Amazing performance from Raditz and amazing from the Saiyans in general to either suss that out and find an appropriate counter. I mean, he did a 11K combo and then went to full power, which ultimately he didn't get to use, but jeez them!
Yeah. As I was talking with people during that week, they lost Raditz to beat Nam, which was an amazing trade. I take that trade every day of my life.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the Saiyans in general are man for man more powerful than this season's Dragon Ball Warriors. The problem is Nam and early Goku. They handled Nam, and early Goku gave them a lot of trouble, but I think they ended up having like two and a bit characters in order to handle early Goku. So, or maybe it was Gohan, but still, early Goku caused a huge problem for them. But it was enough.
They really needed that strong start.
Yeah.
Or at least strong enough to beat Nam, which happened. And after that, they were able to run in that momentum.
Yep, I think Bardock beat him with an ultimate or a B2 or something like that. Let me bring up Saiyan's build because I want to highlight what Raditz had. I mean, he had attack +2, defense -1, dragon power, serious, quick, fast attack, and rising fighting spirit. I mean, it's your typical melee clash build, which I don't think they clashed, but still. I mean, holy crap. I mean, attack +2, serious, and quick, fast attack. That's all it is. That's all he had, and he was able to do an 11K combo without a max power boost.
Still impressive.
Still very impressive, and I can confirm that Bardock beat Nam with an ultimate, which was not overkill considering it's Nam.
Yeah. He just wanted to be really sure it was dead.
Yeah. Take no chances.
He learned from that movie with the zombies where one of the rules is always double tap.
2 shots to the head, only way to be sure.
Yeah.
Except this is 2 gigantic energy blasts to the head. No. Tao did better than I remember seeing him this season, which is really good for Dragon Ball Warriors and horrible for everybody else, because I always thought Tao was kind of the weak link on this team. I mean, early Goku was, B2 spam and ultimate spam and actually had really good B2 melee. Kid Goku had really good melee. Nam had, like, the best melee, and Tao was just kind of there. So.
Yeah, Tao didn't really do much to Bardock.
Well, Bardock did tag very early, and in came Base and Vegeta, who had Power Body, if I'm not mistaken, and completely handled Tao.
Yeah, that would do it.
I think he handled Tao, and he started to handle early Goku a little bit.
Yeah, a Vegeta with Power Body, that's something that you don't even see the performance, it already sounds scary enough.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that Super Saiyans might not have tried it yet. Although I think they had Power Body on early Goku, which is worse. But yeah, and Vegeta took out Tao without hardly losing half a bar of health. or a little bit more than half a bar of health. Although Tao became really dodgy at the end.
Yeah, well, Tao always was a fast character. I mean,
Fast, but not really damaging.
yeah. It depends. Sometimes, yeah, this season not really, but other seasons, he showed that sometimes he is very good at either B2 or melee. He have potential in both, but the fact that he is predator in one, predator in the other, mean he is not great in either of them.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what Dragon Ball Warriors think of early Goku's Kaioken as a B1, because that, I think, kind of really hurt him this match. I think they gave him Kibito's Secret Art so he could either A, go to max power because he has a good enough build to do that, and B, to use Solar Flare, one of which missed because Vegeta just flew up. But I mean, he still did a lot of Solar Flares, but I wonder if they think Kaioken hurts them in the end.
Well, it does cause him to go to max ki, which is really nice, but then it just drains him and he can't charge. So I mean,
Yeah, if you waste 2 bars and a bit, you can't do any B2s with it.
Right.
And if you don't do melee with it, it's completely wasted.
Yeah, I mean, it does pretty nice boost, stat boost wise, but the fact that it drains your energy, depending on the build you have on him, that's pretty bad.
I'd also like to point out that not only was it a Vegeta with Power Body, it was a Vegeta with Power Body and After Image. He ended up taking down Tao and early Goku, and it ended up being base adult Gohan versus Bardock,
Vegeta and Vegeta.
And the fact that Gohan nearly brought it back was actually pretty scary.
Ultimate spam. I mean,
Yeah, how many ultimates did he do? 3 of them, and I think at least 2 of them connected.
yeah, he launched one against Bardock, but that one missed.
Yeah, because he high-speed movement that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he hit one against the End Vegeta, and he hit one against Scouter. Oh no, I'm sorry. He threw out 2 against Bardock, and one of them missed, but one of them hit. And then End Vegeta came in, and Gohan outspammed him basically, because that's pretty much Power Body's weakness is spam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scouter Vegeta seems
Especially.
derp a little bit. I'm not sure. But Gohan...
I don't really remember.
Gohan did the sacrifice health to push back, and Vegeta immediately countered off with a Galagun, which was amazingly intelligent, but Gohan dodged it.
Yeah.
But
It is
Vegeta,
nice to see that the AIs are doing more combos, at least.
I mean, Scouter Vegeta tried. He spammed his ass off. I can't even... And he spammed Galagun at relatively intelligent times, but Gohan just dodged them all and started countering of his own because Super Madons, and I think he hit an ultimate, and he did the... I mean, it's not a performance we're used to seeing from Scouter Vegeta. I mean, he even went ape. Scouter Vegeta went ape when Gohan had max power. Anything from Gohan would have ended that match, probably. But ape Vegeta's melee won it. Which is actually kind of surprising, because when you think of ape Vegeta, you don't think melee.
No.
He doesn't do melee. But
He did hit with a barrage, though, right beforehand, so
Yeah.
that helped.
He hit with one of the barrages. It did, like, what, 4,000 damage, I think?
Still, that's really good.
That barrage move really frickin' sucks, though. I mean, it's really interesting because the only time that move is good is when it's King Vegeta's ultimate. I mean, King Vegeta's ultimate, he usually uses it at amazing times. But, anything else for this match?
Well, just to really say about like how great, like Hadal Doan, it was fantastic what he did, and I'm very happy for Zeom that he won. But
Yeah.
I think like the thing I remember the most from this match was Hadal Doan performance.
Yeah, he brought an absolute stomp, because at that point, it pretty much was a stomp. It was a full, 2 and a bit bars of Bardock, a full scout of Vegeta, and a bar of Power Body and Vegeta. I mean, that, by all intents and purposes, you would consider that a stomp. And Adult Gohan brought it back within winnable range. It just couldn't finish. So that was really impressive from Gohan.
And yeah, but yeah, now we can go to Ryan's favorite match of the week.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Muscle versus androids. Muscle unfortunately lost. Well, unfortunately
Yeah.
for Selkai. Or unfortunately for him, and kind of fortunately for Selkai. Bringing
Yep.
them to 5 and 5 along with Ginyu and Derp. And androids went up to 5 and 5 as well.
Yeah, so it was a complete match of 5 and 5. The Drake Club doing it again.
This is one of the matches
The reason
that
they
surprised the
lost.
hell out of me, but I will let Ryan explain.
Yay! Well, the losing against androids has now caused there to be a 3-way tie in South Kai
It's
with
because you're
Namek.
scrubs.
Shut up. With Namek, 1 win behind us. Thankfully, at least for Team Muscle, is even though there's a 3-way tie, we're technically winning.
Yeah, because of the divisional matches, that Team Derp was unable to win any of them.
Oh, I'm sorry that we won all of them.
Yeah.
But we
It's
started
okay.
with Cell versus Boo. I didn't really do much like planning as to where people were going to be. I just knew they weren't going to throw Jiro in, which is why I kept 13 in, because, I mean, it's just the obvious choice.
But it was weird because I honestly expected a relatively throwdown fight, but for Cell to ultimately take advantage of it. But it was an absolute stomp from Super Boo until
It was for a while.
until the end of that match, and Cell just is just like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, dude, I'm gonna put you over for a while, but I'm the one winning this.
We did get a nice Vice Shout Chocolate Beam combo.
Yeah,
But yeah, Boo got him down to, I think it was like half a bar, maybe a bar.
that really working for him too.
Cell ended... Oh yeah, without the perfect guard? Oh yeah, it's good. I think we changed like 1 or 2 things on it usually, but
I think he packed way more heat this time.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Perfect Guard was doing such a great job, man.
it was.
You know,
Yeah, so
I think,
Max
Boo
Power-
got him down to half a bar.
I think Boo
And
was
then
really shucky ducky this
max
week.
power combo into a max power perfect combination.
Yeah, it just like I'm like, okay, Boo can take down Cell, and then Cell pulled shenanigans, and I'm like, well, crap.
Yeah, and
Or one of
Using
their
V1
strongest
out of
players. One of the two. Yeah.
Yeah. I am still not 100% sold on Kabuto's on Broly, and this is kind of why. I mean, because if he gets countered when he's using the B1, or Saiyan Soul, or... I don't
That's
know,
why we
it's-
throw Light Body on him, but yeah, the same
Okay.
Soul threw us off.
Yeah, I mean, this time it was mostly bad luck, because perfect combination when he was doing Kakarot, and he managed to get off Saiyan Soul for when Cell was in, but
Yeah.
it
Didn't
was
help.
weird. No, it was weird.
It-
Although I'm pretty sure Super Perfect Cell punches through Power Body anyway, which
yeah,
but-
doesn't matter.
17 came in and just cleaned up Broly.
Because we ended up getting Cell out, but Broly had taken 2 bars, and then 17 guard crushed him, and then hit him with a photon, and it was just not good for Broly.
Team
Why
Rocket- Android
didn't
might-
my team?
Why what?
Why couldn't my team do that versus you? Why we at Salza instead, huh?
Because I predicted your team perfectly, except for like 1 placement. So I'm like, I'm just gonna try this and see if it works.
And it worked, but at least I had to. I had the privilege to see you get beat by the android, so it's okay.
Hey.
It made me feel better about myself.
Saltiness aside, 13 actually did really well until he ran into a photon flash.
Yeah,
That was a really good counter from 17, but that was horrible luck from 13.
13.
And then he jumped back and did another. I mean, this is the 17 that if we saw it last week or the week before, I think they would have won. But I don't know what happened the other week. He just decided to be Melee versus Super Saiyans. Mm-hmm. And it was a drag-down fight between 13 and 17. And 17 ended up winning, and then Garlic just...
it was Garlic. Yeah,
I mean,
17 was on a, super spamming, just,
And I think
thing.
17 tagged, too, so... And at this point, Garlic had to take down 16...
16, Aider, and
whatever 17 regained, which I think would have been a bar.
Yeah.
And, knowing what Garlic is capable of, it could have and should have been possible. It just, I don't know, Garlic was not there this week.
Did 16 have, power body on him? I'm just curious.
It looks like it. Let me double check, because it looked like it. Because Garlic was just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, power body, serious, master throw, and attack.
That would be why. Because, Garlic does work without Draconic Aura against normal power body builds. I just don't know why it wasn't working against 16, because we faced him off against Tambourine when he had power body, and we were actually expecting Birder to have power body when we faced Ginyu. And Garlic does work against power body builds. I just don't know why not against 16.
But we saw a good Darkness Illusion, which was fun. We saw an 11K Darkness Illusion, I might add.
It was good. The weird thing is, though, we changed his AI from last week. Because he was on TN last week, which was actually a mistake. We were supposed to put him on Piccolo last week, so we put him on Piccolo this week.
And he just had trouble, which was unfortunate. I mean, that could be one of those, hey, it's a derp. I mean, it could be the same thing with Goten. I mean, Goten had Chaozu AI, and he destroyed everybody in tests, and then in the match, he just kind of took a crap.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider what Garlic did as derping. He did pretty well. It's just that the melee from 16 was so much better.
Especially considering Garlic has a natural defense -3.
Well, according to Burns' player stats, Garlic has base defense.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, granted, according to Burns' player stats, Nappa does not have an innate defense +1.
I thought Burn was the one that said Garlic had a natural defense -3 last I talked to him. Anyway, that's beside the point.
But yeah, we got trashed by the androids. I mean, we got a couple hard weeks coming up.
Yeah.
So
Aider didn't even come in, and that hurts.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad. He's my favorite on the team. I wanted him to jump or do to on Garlic Jr.
Yeah. Aider's been doing amazing for the androids, and I'm not sure how much other people in the league have noticed, but Aider has probably been one of the best changes on this new difficulty for the androids. I mean, Cell is now a melee person, but he was still pretty damn solid before. But Aider, who was, I would say, the android's weakest last season, is probably... Well, I wouldn't say he's second strongest, because when 17 performs, I would say 17 is the second strongest. But he's up there. He is definitely up there.
Yeah, I would say there's no clear weak point of androids.
Well, it was 16, I would say, until I think, this week and maybe the week before. It was 16. I don't think it is anymore. Now I think they're all pretty damn even, and that's a scary place to be.
All right.
On to YCast questions?
We didn't get any questions. However, we do have Daxters from last week, which we never really got to answer.
Because
we did, but nobody got to hear them.
Yeah, we answered them last week, but since the cast had some problem, nobody. Yeah. So yeah, we can answer to them again.
It's all Anthony's fault.
Alright, so how do you feel Saiyaman has been doing this season for the Gohans? In terms of overall performance, do you think he is in the higher tier of the team with Teen Gohan and Bojack, the mid-tier with Ultimate Gohan, or the lower tier with Future Gohan and Kid Gohan? Discuss.
Mid-tier trash.
Why?
Because he's done some things, but he hasn't done anything very mentionable.
Memorable? No Justice Slashes, I don't think, ever this season.
He hasn't got. I don't think he's
No.
gotten any off.
He's
Got a
tried.
few off, but
No, he's tried. I don't think he's gotten any off. I think he might have gotten an ultimate off, but anyway.
So for me, he's a mid tier, like a good mid tier. Like, he lately uses B1 territory. He do some good enough B2s in my opinion, but there's still he's still lacking something. There's
A little bit of flair.
a little bit of flair. He's not that great. Doesn't do that much damage. But for me, he's a mid tier. He do the job he need to do for what we expect from Saiyaman.
He generally does what he needs to do most of the time. And that's really all you can. That's really all you need. I mean, if you can take your man most of the time, then you're in a good position. But compared to Teen Gohan and Bojack, he ain't anywhere near that. And as weird as it is for me to say Ultimate Gohan is mid-tier for the Gohans, this season it kind of fits. I mean, last season Ultimate was their best, like by far. But that was partially because Teen Gohan was Super Saiyan 1, but that's a different discussion.
right.
But yeah, I would say Saiyaman is better than Future Gohan, and most of the time I would say he's better than Kid Gohan. Although Kid Gohan did decent this week. I think Teen Gohan, I think Kid Gohan has more potential to do really, really well than Saiyaman does. They both have max power B1s, and I think they both have some after image of some kind. Kid Gohan has after image strike, and Saiyaman I think has wild sense.
I believe so.
No, he has Justice Pose 1, which gives him, I think, a slight power body and an attack boost, and Justice Finishing Pose. So, ultimately, I think Kid Gohan has more potential, especially on, like, a defense or maybe a melee build. But at the moment, with performances, I think Saiyaman's been edging him out, so I would say mid-tier. He's not quite Ultimate Gohan's level, but when he does the melee and stuff, he generally takes his man, and that's what you need. So, I say mid-tier.
Yeah, I can't really add much of anything. I would say mid-tier, probably like number 4 on their team. But I mean, with them not having Bojack next season, maybe they'll find a way to make Saiyaman again.
Or find a way to make Future Gohan more consistent, because he could.
I love Future.
I love Future too. He could do well. I mean, maybe if they tried him in base form, or because full power charge, he could do what Adult Gohan did. Maybe. But it's hard to tell. Future Gohan's always been in that really weird place where he should be doing much better than he is. Has anyone not answered this? Spencer, you answered this. Yeah, you did. Okay. On to the next question. With Derp having issues with Goku...
Well, that question is kind of...
This was 2 weeks ago, so...
Right.
But with Derp having issues with Goku spamming his ultimate, do you think they'll bring in Hercule at some point in his place, or do you think they will continue to do something that works for Goku?
As of like 2 weeks ago, yes. As of the last 2 weeks, no.
I mean, even if Goku continued to have trouble, I would still doubt that they would even try Wow. I swear... I'm not on any drugs for this week. I don't even know what's going on.
Bench Salsa.
Yeah. I would say even if Goku wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, I would have trouble imagining Derp bringing in Hercule, unless, like, they were completely out of playoffs or something like that. So even if that wasn't happening, I would say Goku's like 2 or 3 times the fighter Hercule is. And I feel bad because I really like watching Hercule fight.
Yeah. As the member of Team Derp, I'm going to put the situation very clear. The only way that someone can see Hercule in the major is if Derp is no more a part. Like, there's no chance for us to be in the playoffs. Maybe we would, well, not maybe, we would put Hercule just to please the fans, but like, there is no way, while being competitive, we would ever change about bringing him up. As some people told me, he did pretty good in the minor, but the thing is, not the same AI. They have more health, and we're not ready to take the risk of having a B2 that only do 1 point of damage when we are facing, like, every match we're doing now is for having a spot in the playoff. There's a 3-way tie. The other team have only 1 defeat more than the others, so there's no way we can take any risk right now. So Hercule is out of any possibility of being in the major league this season.
Yep. Unless they find a way to mod the game so Hercule can do something more consistently, I would say
like 1,000 damage.
The only way that Hercule would ever be viable is if he actually does the spam clash and gets off his ultimate. But that is so situational that I would take even a derpy character over that, you know? So it sucks. It really does, because I love Hercule, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't think we're going to see Hercule again, except maybe in preseason for fun.
Yep. Yeah, with Spencer being occupied right now, it's time for the pronostics.
Right, yes, predictions. Predictions! So, Week 11, there are no divisional matches, so this is just going to be a time to recuperate. First match is going to be Ginyu versus Valkyries. Who's going to have, who was it? Captain Ginyu in. And Valkyries are going to have Aurelian, assuming they don't put her on the free agent bench. I'm joking.
So, okay, yeah. In my opinion, I'd say that the Valkyries will win, but I expect a close fight. I do expect a close fight, but with Aurelian coming back and with what we saw, even with the strange build they had last week, Valkyrie still went pretty close to win. I think they are maybe onto something right now, and I'm going to say that the Valkyrie is going to be the new force.
Ryan?
Give me a second. I'm looking something up here. I believe that it's going to end up being the Valkyries. I'm just trying to see, like, benching things. Oh, well, they're going to have to keep Zarbon in as well.
Zarbon's had all his benches?
Yep, because Goldo's not going to come in, because why would they do such things? Yeah, ooh, okay.
Seeing as they're fighting for their playoff spot, too.
Yeah, I'm still going with Valves because they're going to end up having a Rayleigh. They're going to more than likely have 18. So, yeah, Valkyries. Plus, I want Ginyu off my ass.
Well, since Spencer's currently not here, depends on if they bench Videl, I would say. I would say if Videl's in, then I think Ginyu can do this, as long as they find a way to handle Aurelian. I think Aurelian is going to be a hard... Oh, also, it's at Valkyrie's home map, so any B2s that Ginyu wants to do is going to be challenging, to say the least. And I don't think they have any spammers, other than potentially Raccoon, which is interesting.
Or Jace, possibly.
Or Jace, possibly, although I think he's been doing better on a melee build lately. I think Val's definitely have a strong advantage, as long as they don't do weird silly buggers. Then I think Valkyries probably have this, but I'm not counting Ginyu out. If Ginyu can find a way to handle Aurelian, and maybe 18, depends on which 18 we see, If they find a way to handle a Rayleigh, I think Ginyu can do this. I just don't think it's the most likely.
No,
Next match, unless Spencer's here.
no, Spencer's gone.
Oh, gone completely?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had to leave to do something.
Next match, Rugrats versus Saiyans. Saiyans is at home.
Bringing in King
Rugrats-
Vegeta.
Rugrats are bringing in Goten.
Oh, so they put Cybermen on the free agent.
We, yes, we did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was one of, we've had tests where Goten has beaten everyone on our team with this AI that should have been glorious. And this is the AI that derped and did nothing but melee, but the team wants to give him a second chance.
So, okay.
I kind of agree at this point. So.
All right. FCD, you first.
Okay, pretty close fight. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do with your opponent for this time around. I just feel like they didn't. No, I feel confident about their ability a little more than yours, but than one of your team. Just because there seem to be a lot of inconsistency, except for maybe the Dorio. Like even your best ones.
Oddly enough, Dodoria's been one of our more consistent fighters. I mean, she may not be the best, but she's generally pretty consistent.
The Dodoria's consistent, while all the others, I feel like they're never the same week after week. So yeah.
Really tries, but yeah.
So I'm gonna give the victory to the Saiyans.
This is going to be hard. So they're bringing in Goten. They're going to have Cell Jr. in. But Cell Jr. has been doing really... Yes, you've benched Cell Jr. all 3 times. Week 2, 6, and 9.
Oh, whoopsies. I didn't even...
Was that not what your plan was originally?
Well, it was one of those, it just kind of worked out that way. It wasn't something that we planned.
Right. So...
It was one of those things, like our benching schedule is confirmed, that's the way it is, it's just, it was one of those things that I didn't even notice. Anyway.
With Cell Jr. in doing well, possibility of Gotenks, GT Goku, when he's actually been able to get active, has been doing pretty well, and I mean, Dodoria is solid. But you're fighting the Saiyans. And the Saiyans are going to have King Vegeta, which is their weakest.
Yeah,
no, it's their... I'm going to give it to Rugrats, because it looks like the Rugrats have just a more solid, averagely solid team.
Averagely solid, thank you. I'm going to put this match down to whatever the flip Goten does. I mean, here's the thing. I would say I would put faith in my team, character for character, over Saiyans at this point. I mean, Bardock's scary, but we've got, Kid Trunks. Raditz is scary, but we've got GT Goku. Scouter Vegeta is scary, but we've got, Dodoria sometimes.
Sometimes.
King Vegeta ain't that scary. King Vegeta can be decent. He does what he needs to do, but he's not the scariest. But the thing is, Goten, in tests, has beaten every single one of our characters in an even fight. So if Goten does that this week, I would say we're going to win because that's a flipping scary thought right there. Because GT Goku's been doing amazing most of the time. Kid Trunks has been doing pretty solid most of the time. Dodoria's been solid. Well, actually, we didn't test against Dodoria. We tested against Cell Jr. And, I mean, Cell Jr.'s been pretty solid. So the fact that Goten could, in theory, be better than all of them, that's a scary thought. And that's an amazing thought. But he has to actually perform. And if he doesn't, it's essentially going to be a 3v4. But if he does, I think we could bring this out.
Okay.
Next match is Dragon Ball Warriors versus Booze.
Who are Booze bringing in?
They benched Evil Boo, so they're going to be bringing him in. And Dragon Ball Warriors are bringing in not Pilaf. Who's the not Pilaf?
Adult Gohan? Kid Goku?
No, Adult Gohan was in this week. Kid Goku.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Personally, I'll go with. Well, it is a really difficult match to give an opinion on, but I'm gonna go with the Dragon Ball Warriors. Yeah, they have probably the team I like the most. To be fair, okay, it's a pick from my own team. Would say,
Second
but,
most.
Yeah, the second most, and I think like they have such a good ability of speed, B2, melee. Like they are the total package. They have everything they need to succeed. And after 2 losses in a row,
they're going to be upset.
They need the win, and I talk sometimes with the people of the Dragon Ball Warriors, and I know just how good they are. And I can't believe a team like that will be 3 defeats in a row, so I'm going to go with them for that.
Ooh.
I need Dragon Ball Warriors to win this one.
It's going to be hard to say what they're going to do. They have to have Nam in. Nam's been benched all 3 times. Bringing in Kid Goku, so he's going to stay in for the rest of the season, assuming they don't free agent him.
Right. I imagine they will. I mean, it's Pilaf.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they definitely have the bye week, or they're definitely in North Kai, or something like that. I don't imagine them bringing in Pilaf.
Okay, I think I know exactly what Dragon Ball Warriors is going to do, since this is actually going out after Friday. I think I can safely say it. My prediction is they're going to bench Adult Gohan to count it as Pilaf. And then next week they actually have a divisional match against the Vows, in which I think they're going to bench Tao.
They're going to go ham because Tao seems to be their weaker link.
So, with Nam in, early Goku, Adult Gohan, and, granted, Tao, or Adult Gohan or Goku, I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna second that because as much as Evil Boo's been consistent, I think Dragon Ball Warriors could handle him. Oob has been consistent. I think Dragon Ball Warriors can handle him. Who else? Kid Buu versus Nam. I mean, if Kid Buu takes out Nam, it could be a pretty damn close match. I mean, because they've done that before, Kid Buu versus Teen Gohan, and they took each other out basically. But Kid Goku versus Gohan Buu. I mean, Gohan Buu hasn't been doing much for them, like in general.
No, they really haven't.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised Gohan Buu was in against us this week. I thought they would bench swap him with Evil Boo so they could have him in a couple. I expected that to be the case, and he got handled by Kid Trunks. Granted, Kid Trunks is a really, really strong character, but then you've got Kid Goku, you've got Nam, it's just I really think Dragon Ball Warriors are going to pull this out.
Yeah.
All right, next match: Cold versus Blades at the Blades home map. Blades.
Who's coming in?
Blades are going to be bringing in... Wherefore art thou, Blades? Probably Janemba, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is.
Yeah, he was not facing us, so it's him.
Yeah, okay, so they're bringing in Janemba.
And Cold is bringing in...
King Cold, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Daddy.
Daddy's coming home. All right, well, with... I'll go first this time. With the Blades, they're going to have Janemba, Tapion, and Yajirobe guaranteed. So it's either they bench Cyborg Tao or they bench Trunks. Yajirobe not the greatest. Tapion hasn't really been doing all that well either.
He did decent this week with his spam.
Right. So he might do well against the spam.
I'd love to see Dave Cannon versus Destroy the Planet. I would love to see that. Please make it happen.
Bringing in King
Fred.
Cold. I think only because there's more to predict, or there's less to predict with what Blades are going to do, because Blades have to have 3 characters in, guaranteed. I think Cold is going to have a better time in predicting, so I'm going to give it to Cold.
Okay. FCD?
It's a pretty good reason. And both of the team did well, in my opinion, last week. Yes, Blade lost, but the only reason they lost was because of Spirit Bombs. But yeah, I have to give it to Cold only because of how much predictable Blade gonna have to be. It's kind of easy to build around what they have. So yep, I'm gonna give it to Team Cold.
I think even without being predictable, or relatively predictable, I think Cold is character for character stronger than Blades. I mean, I think Blades' one wild card is basically Janemba. If Janemba pulls out his elite performance self like he did before, maybe he could do stuff. I mean, if he dodges ultimates and counters with, anything, he could make it a close fight. But Yajirobe's been meh. Cyborg Tau had a decent performance this week, but he's been meh. Tapion, he has his moments where he can do well. And so basically I see it's going to be Sword Trunks, who's been doing really well, and potentially Janemba versus all of Cold. I mean, Meta Cooler's been doing amazing. King Cold's been doing really, really well. Mecha Frieza, and Cooler have the ult potential. I mean, I think probably Cooler is one of their weaker links. If they bench Cooler, I would say Cold definitely has this. If they don't bench Cooler, if they bench one of their stronger characters, then it might be a close match depending on what Janemba is. But it really all depends on what Janemba does. Because at the moment, I don't have the most faith in the rest of their team to be consistently good. At least not on Cold's level. So that's unanimous for Cold. Next match, Super Saiyans versus Majins. Oh. Well,
Majins are bringing in Spopovich.
I automatically feel bad for this.
Yep.
And Super Saiyans are bringing in Trunks, if I'm not. Because they brought him back in, and I think they put Gohan on the bench. On the free agent.
Yeah, I have trust in Majins to do a close match. Because
They've gotten much better.
Yeah, they got much better over the weeks, even though they had kind of difficulties to continue winning. But I'm still believing that the Super Saiyans would be the better team this time around.
Yeah, betting against Super Saiyans is an interesting proposition at this point. Ryan?
Yeah, with them having Deborah and Spopovich in, with Baby Vegeta on free agent, Bobity's been able to do good things, and same with Maju, but it's the Super Saiyans who are going to have Gotenks Boo, who's number 2, more than likely, and Goku. Go ahead.
To be fair, Gotenks Boo I think has only been in like 4 weeks, I think.
Oh, really? Did
But
they keep him on free agent for a while?
They kept him on free agent for a fair while. They brought him in, I think, in the second time. He did, I think, a really, really good 2 performances. They brought him back onto the bench to bring in somebody, and then they brought him back this time. So he's only been in like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
But he's still been
So
doing...
his Gotenks Boo... Yeah. So his numbers are a little skewed, but he's still doing really well. With how powerful the Super Saiyans are, with 3 people in the top 10.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to the Super Saiyans. I mean, granted, Cold just kicked their ass, so maybe they're just on a downtrodden, but I'm gonna go with Super Saiyans.
All right. And also, I'd like to welcome back Spencer, because he had to poof.
Yes.
But
So
goofing.
for the thing, Super Saiyans versus Majins. Well, as you said Deborah, and who else was in?
Spopovich. They have to be in.
Okay, yeah. Deborah and Spopovich are worrying, but I think the Super Saiyans can pull out another win, considering, I mean, have you seen them?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan Mid Vegeta, Super
They're
Saiyan
kind
End
of-
Vegeta, Super Saiyan Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku.
You're kind of repeating things we already know, Spencer.
Also, I would like to say, Gotenks Boo has been in 5 times.
Oh, fine. Okay. Still,
And
Half the
Gotenks
season.
Boo is not bad.
not
He's
by
not
any
the
means.
best in the world, but he's not bad.
No. But so you're voting Super Saiyans?
Yep.
Unfortunately, as much as I really want the Majins to do well, I gotta hand it to the Super
I don't.
Saiyans. I'm sorry, KO. I mean, Majin Vegeta's doing better, but he's no Mid Vegeta or End Vegeta, not yet. I mean, maybe eventually, but no. Deborah is doing better, but, I mean, he needs a lot of after image strike spam in order to, I would say, keep even with whoever he's fighting. Babidi has been doing well again. I mean, he did well against us Rugrats, and he did well this week against Valkyries, but he's just going to have he's just going to have an uphill battle. And Spopovich, well, he's not going to be running into that many Kamehamehas, I don't think, because they've only got Goku. But
No, he's going to be charging in them head first.
But there's also all the Vegeta's volleys and all that stuff, and that could really put a huge hamper on him. So, I'm sorry. I hope you prove me wrong. I really do, but I think Super Saiyans are going to bring this one. So, next match. Oh, another one. God damn. Earth Defenders versus Derp.
All right, FCD goes last.
He goes last. Derp is bringing in Supreme Kai, and Earth Defenders are bringing in Chaozu. Or potentially Krillin, but I highly doubt they're going to do that.
No,
No.
totally.
No. Superman not here. So, Ryan?
Actually, give me a second. I kind of want to see if they put it within their customization. Because some people do, who they put on free agent as customization. Nope, inactive free roster is... No, wait. That was the wrong week. Yep, inactive free roster is Krillin, so Krillin's not coming in. Unless they...
Yeah, which I highly doubt they're going to do.
Yeah. So, Chaozu comes in. Derp's going to have Kui and Supreme Kai. Goku's starting to do stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
Tien is Tien. I mean,
Can we see a
Tien
Goku
is...
fight? Can we see End
Ooh.
Goku versus Mid Goku, please? I want to see that. I don't care how it goes. I want to see it.
That would be fun.
I
Tien is
I
doing
think
well.
I think Derp's Goku has fought almost every other Goku in the league, except maybe Dragon Ball Warriors Goku.
I was thinking Rugrats.
And Rugrats.
Yeah.
The tiny Gokus.
Tien is good. Yamcha's doing pretty well. With Kui and Supreme Kai, there's no chance for eternal life. Devilman, ooh. I'm going to guess benching Devilman. Well, no, they might have 19. Ooh, no, they might not. I don't know. That one's going to be a toss-up. I want Earth Defenders to win because get off my ass, Derp.
Never. He's going to ride that ass all the way to the playoffs. Anyway. Spencer? Oh, wait, no. Ryan never finished, I don't think. You think Derp?
I'm going with Earth Defenders because I want Derp off my ass.
Oh, right. Okay. Spencer?
As much as I want both of these teams to do well. Because it's like I'm like weird caught in the middle because I like Clone Fox and I like the Earth Defenders and they're doing bad this season. But it's like, I also like Derp because they're funny, and they have the most stupid matches I've ever seen. Like, for the past 2 weeks, they have been amazing. So, but I'm gonna have to go with Derp, just for the fact that I would not be surprised if Goku did even more Spirit Bombs.
Spirit! Spirit Bomb! Anyway, as much as I want Earth Defenders to win, I do. I think their record speaks for them, and I don't think Chaozu is their strongest character, and I think Supreme Kai, while he has derpy moments, is generally stronger than most characters on ED, except for maybe Goku when he decides to perform, and maybe Yamcha. I mean, if they keep Tien doing well, they can make a fight of it. If Yamcha does decent, if Mid Goku does anything, it could be a decent fight because Salza, maybe Kui, they aren't the strongest, but you still gotta deal with Goku, and that's going to be a tall order. I mean, if Devilman's in, I don't think Devil Might Beam is a super huge factor at this point. I think it fired off like twice.
Once it missed and once it did 4,000 damage.
Yeah, I don't think it's a staple of whether Devilman's good or not, is his ultimate. I'm not necessarily certain that Devilman's going to be out, even though it would be a logical choice. I think 19 would actually be a good choice to have in against Earth Defenders at this point, so I'm going to say Derp.
Alright. So, I'm going to say that my team, Team Derp, will win. It should be it's going to be an interesting fight because we are trying a lot of new things, like new AIs, kind of different builds. Like, Chui will not be the same Chui at all since the beginning of the season. So it's going to be very interesting to see what will happen. But I still think that we are a more lucky team. We have more momentum, so I don't see our defenders being able to beat us, even if it's a possibility, especially with I like the way 19, TN, and Yamcha are doing this season, even though they are inconsistent. So there's definitely a chance for our defenders to beat us, but I feel like Derp is the team that didn't win.
Alright, next match is Gohan's versus Muscle at Muscle's home map.
So this time around, it's Ryan who's going last.
No, I'll go first.
The guy who's
He
going to
thinks the Gohans are going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think we even need to talk about this match. Obviously, Gohan's, So next match,
it's not like Muscle have any good characters. I mean, come on.
No, we only have a Pulley and Frieza Soldier and Frieza Soldier Costume 2.
You will know that they have a name. They are Silvio and
You can't forget about Frieza Soldier.
Yeah, it's Silvio and Generico. Thank you very much.
No.
To be fair, wait, with all these things who do they face? Oh, the Gohans. Yes.
Gohans are bringing in Teen, and I am bringing in Roshi.
Oh, Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
with these two people, it's not bad for you, I will say, but a match is not about only one player, except that if you're Team Derp and you have Andrew to spirit bombing people. Now it's about only one player. Except that for my own team, it's about all the players combined. And as much as I want you to lose, Ryan, and believe me, I want you to lose as much as possible, I believe your team will be able to win that one. So I'm going to say Muscle.
Why, thank you.
Now die.
It's a really interesting thing because it's you guys facing the team who took the person that you dropped.
Yeah, I know.
you know,
So
Bojack.
there's got to be some feelings of animosity.
Bojack's not going to fight.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, I can't hurt my old friend Broly. We're bros. They call me Brojack.
I was gonna say, we're Broly's.
We're Brohans.
Shit, that's even better.
Anyway, I'm really hoping that Muscle does win, because I want to see Gohans eat shit in the literal term. I want to see them just tank in the second half of the season and just get destroyed.
Yeah.
I am very angry about what happened with Bojack doing 98,000 in the fucking match against us. 98.
Never forget.
Never forget. Some date, 2016. Just a fucking picture of Bojack silhouetted over a fucking sunset. So I'm gonna have to give it to Muscle.
Thank you.
I would like to be the voice of reason for a moment and say, Teen, Bojack, Ultimates. If those three are in, I am really sorry, Ryan. That's going to be a ridiculously hard match. I mean,
I know.
You would have to either A, completely counter them exactly, like everything like everything goes right for you and they're countered,
Mm-hmm.
And then Roshi actually has to do stuff.
Well, Roshi is better than Garlic, so...
We don't know that yet. I don't know. I highly doubt they're going to bench Bojack because
They legally can't. No, they legally can't. Future Gohan's on the free agent. He's used 3 of his benches.
Okay. So which means they're probably going to bench what? Kid Gohan or Saiyaman?
More than likely.
So you're going to have their big 3 in.
Yep.
And Kid Gohan's been decent, Saiyaman's been decent. You're going to... okay, Super Boo's been doing fine. Broly has the potential to do really, really good. And 13 hopefully can do stuff.
Hopefully.
But it seems like almost an impossible matchup for you since Teen Gohan's coming in.
All right. Just say that you're going for Gohan's.
I would love for you to prove me wrong because they're in my division. If both Gohans and Boos lose this week and we beat the Saiyans, we'll be right back where we should be. But I need you to win. I just don't expect you to. I'm sorry.
Okay. So it's a want for Muscle, but expected Gohan.
I expect Gohans. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine.
You need to pack too much heat, though.
Yeah, especially with Bojack having to stay in and Teen Gohan now having to be up against us. And I don't think Nope, we haven't tapped out on any benches yet, so... I don't know. I'll go with myself. I just want Bojack to feel bad about leaving.
Bojack, think of what you could have been. If you win this week, wouldn't you be tied with the Gohans? And then since you would have won, wouldn't you go above them?
Ooh, maybe. Let me take a look at the standings.
That would be awesome.
Let's see. If I won, Gohans are 6-4. I'd win. I'd go up to 6-4.
And
or 6-5. They go down to 6-5. So yes, and that would put us into the running for North Kai.
Nice.
Right.
That would be awesome. All right,
Androids and Namek.
All right, that's my job now. Yeah. Ooh, this is actually going to be an interesting fight. FCD?
What is it? Ryan said it too fast for me.
Androids versus Namekians. Androids are going to be bringing in... Where's the androids? We're for Ortho. There you go.
They're going to be bringing in Jiro.
Oh,
Yep,
okay. And Namekians are probably going to bring in Pycon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be really fun.
This would be a really fun match. I'm gonna do. I don't know why I'm always wishing for my enemies to win, but
One teams.
but I'm gonna do with Namet. I just feel like Python. I still have nightmare about Python because of the minor league before, and from what we saw in the major league with the new difficulty, he is still able to do some good performance. So, yep, I'm afraid of him. Like, since 3 years now, I'm afraid of them. And, I don't know, Namet is in such a good run lately that I feel they're gonna continue. Like, you can stop the Namet yet, or whatever they want to be called, like whole Trojan, but, you can stop the train of Namet. I'm gonna say that they win.
Alright, Ryan?
Bringing in Giroux, and they could bench freely anybody, and Giroux is their weakest too. And then bringing in Namekians are Pycon, and having to keep King Vegeta, who is their weakest.
You maintain Piccolo,
King Vegeta?
right?
Yes,
He's
King
in the
Vegeta.
Namet.
I always
Wow,
knew he had green
it's been
skin.
2.5 hours.
He betrayed his own country.
King Piccolo is their weakest. Giroux is Android's weakest. But Giroux has the ability to just shut people down. Oh, that's going to be a hard fight. Do they have any divisional matches coming up? That's a good question. Androids. You have one against Cold in week 15.
That's it.
Okay. I think I know what they're going to do then. So I'm going to go with Androids.
Alright, Spencer?
I believe that the Hoover men can do it. They're gonna suck up all their energy. Like,
Oh, the vacuums.
just like the vacuums suck up dust. Note,
You all of your energy.
note, in this situation, the androids are the vacuums and the Namekians are the dust.
Oh,
They are
thank
the
you. I didn't
inferior
understood.
dust people.
Thank you.
They are the
here's the
inferior
problem.
dust people. They will be exterminated like the bugs they are.
Here's
No,
the
see-
problem with that, though. There's one problem with that. Namekians are in the desert, and there's way too much sand. They're going to be distracted, and they're not going to be able to cope with that.
These are extra duty Hoovers.
Well, no, see,
They're gonna
here's the
suck
thing.
up the entire desert.
They're not Hoovers. They're bug zappers. And Namekians, are basically bugs.
They're one step removed from bugs. They're slugs.
Yes. So, they'll go into the shiny light.
I don't think slugs can see color.
They can see light, though. Anyway. So that's what, 2 for Namek? Spencer?
No.
You think Namek's going to win, too?
No! I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
androids!
I'm sorry, Hoovers, I'm sorry.
I said the Hoovers would destroy those filthy dust people.
What,
Filthy.
is King Piccolo, rotation locked? Is he benched 3 times already?
Nope, he's benched all 3 times.
If he wasn't, I would say Namekians probably have the advantage on this one. They've been doing really, really well. Just in general, they've been doing really, really well. With King Piccolo in, and Giroux hasn't been doing his grabby-grab kicking ass thing lately. So, with Pycon, I don't know. I think it might come down to Pycon versus Cell. And if it does, I'm probably going to say androids. I as much as I think Pycon's really, really strong, I think Cell's been more consistent and more tested. But if like Pycon can take out like anybody else other than Cell, then I think Namekians are going to win this. So, that is the end of the Whitecast, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this goes up before builds are actually due, which is in, 7 hours, I think?
I don't think it's going to go up in 7 hours.
It's
Nah,
not.
that's fine.
Yeah, Kale's gonna master edit it in like...
20 and then send me the files, and I'm gonna upload it in 5 minutes.
You're gonna upload it in 4 minutes, or else you're fired.
So,
The planet will blow up in 5 minutes.
Oh, so we got about like 2.5 hours, right?
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any questions, comments, leave them in the comments below, or
in
you know,
the YCast
questions.
Studios subforum on the Squeeze Lair forums.
Yep. So, let's hope for some really good weeks. Remember, everyone, that the matches are on Mondays now instead of Sundays.
At 9 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. CST, and 6 p.m. CC.
PST.
PST.
And like 2 a.m. British time. So if you're British, that sucks for you.
And what is
Too
that?
bad.
It's like 4 in the afternoon for Australia.
Woo!
3 p.m. HST.
Okay, I think we got it all, boys. I'm pretty sure everyone is hour now.
India, it's going to be at 12:32.
May this be an amazing week. May all of these Kai lose except for Rugrats, and see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Cookies.
Good.